Okay, our next lesson is lesson 34, and it is on telling time. And then we're going to look with the numbers on it. We're going to page 224. And we're looking at the clock. Now, we've talked about the clock a lot this year, looked at it, and done some practice with it. So, when we're doing a clock, when we have the word o'clock, in all of these, we have o'clock. And we talked about this year, when it is o'clock, it's when the hand has not left the 12 yet. That when the hand starts at the 12 and it travels around. So if I want to show 4 o'clock, my big hand is always pointing at the 12. That is my minute hand. My minute hand is always pointing at the 12. I guess I should have underlined that with the blue. My minute hand is always at the 12 when it says o'clock. Pointing straight up at the 12. Then my hour hand, which is the shorter hand, it is going to point at the 4. So it's going to be shorter, but it's going to point right at the 4. When I make a straight line, and then I put a little slanted line going back towards the dot, and another one on this side going back towards the dot. And I have 4 o'clock. Both of these, when it says o'clock, the hands are pointing right at the numbers. Here, 7 o'clock. Okay, the hand is going to go to the 7, the hour hand, go from the 7, point straight at the 7. It's the shorter hand, put lines back towards the dot. Oops. And I have 7 o'clock. The hands are pointing straight at the numbers when it says o'clock, because this number has not left the station. It has not left the 12. So neither has this hand left the number that it's pointing at. 10 o'clock, the minute hand is pointing straight at the 12. The hour hand is going to be pointing at the 10. Right at the 10. It's shorter than the blue hand, and it has 2 lines pointing back like that. That makes our arrow. Okay. Again, pointing straight at the 12, the minute hand, the hour hand's pointing straight at the 10. The train has not left the track yet. Okay, it's right on the numbers. Okay, 2 o'clock, the minute hand's pointing straight at the 12. The hour hand has to be pointing at the 2. Oh. Going from the dot and put my lines there for the arrow. Okay, minute hand straight at the 12, hour hand straight at the 2. Train has not left the track, it's right on the numbers. Okay, and that is o'clock. We say 4 o'clock on the dot because the numbers, the hands are right where they're right at the numbers. Okay, we will eat supper at 7 o'clock sharp. It's right at the numbers. We will start doing math at 10 o'clock on the dot, or 2 o'clock on the dot. We will be going, we will be in gym class. Okay, looking at the next page, page 225, there's a clock there. You can practice with that clock, practice making times. You could either make your hands out of paper and practice making times on that. Okay, turn the page, and we are looking at, again, telling time. It says, it is 2 o'clock. Where is the hour hand? It's on the 2, okay? It's the shorter hand, it's pointing right at the 2. Now, it is just past 2 o'clock, then almost 3 o'clock. Where is the hour hand at each time? Well, let's look down here. Okay, if it's 2 o'clock, that hour hand is right on the 2. It hasn't left the station. It is exactly 2 o'clock. But just past 2 o'clock means it's not pointing anymore straight at that 2. Get a piece of paper. It's not anymore pointing straight at the 2. It's just going past it a little bit, okay? So it is just past the 2 o'clock. Okay. Now here, almost 3. So that hand is no longer just past the 2, it has gotten almost to the 3. So I'm going to put my dot here in the middle. And I'm going to have it to where it's not pointing at the 3. Okay, it would have been pointing at the 3 to go straight across. It's almost to the 3. So that hand, those hands are going around the clock. Okay, so when it's 2 o'clock, that hand, the hour hand, has gotten to the 2. Well, it's going to keep on moving. As that minute hand goes around, this hour hand is going to move a little bit. It's not going to move as much as the big hand. So it starts at the 2, then it's a little bit past the 2, and then it's almost 3 o'clock. Okay? So let's look at page 227. What time do these clocks show? Okay, these are 2 different kinds of clocks. This is a digital clock. This is an analog clock. Digital clock, you can just read the numbers. 9:30. Okay, this is the hour hand again, the red hand, the short hand, 9. This is the minute hand. Okay, we talked about it this year. Those 2 dots right there in the middle, those divide the hour hand from the minute hand. The hour hand gets to go first, okay? It's the short hand. Remember I told you, short people get to go first. The smaller kids get to go first. So this is the short hand, this is the long hand. You always have to keep them on the same side. Okay, so we look at this clock. Now, is it on the 9? No, it's between the 9 and the 10, isn't it? Has it gotten to the 10 yet? No, it just left the 9. So we put 9. Then look at the minute hand. The minute hand, remember we said the hour hand looks at the number, the minute hand counts by 5. So we start at the 12, the station, and we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It is 9:30. Okay? And we write it this way, 9:30. Okay, it says the minute hand is halfway around the clock. This minute hand started at the 12. It starts at the 12, it goes around the clock, and comes back up to the 12. Now, look at the line here. We divided that circle in half. Remember when we were talking about halves? We could divide a circle in half, and this half, okay? So we can say that that minute hand went halfway around the clock. So it is half past, or here we're looking at the red hand, is half past the what? Okay, it hasn't gotten to the 10 yet. It left the 9, so it is half past 9. Or if we're counting by 5s, like I said, start at the station, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It is 30 minutes after what? After the 9. Okay, it got to 9 o'clock, and then the minute hand tells us it was 30 minutes after it hit the 9. After it was 9 o'clock, it took 30 minutes before it got halfway between the 9 and the 10. So it is 9:30, or written this way, 9:30. Okay, the hour hand first, then the minute hand. 9. Here's the 9 and 30. It's 30 minutes. The big hand counts by 5s. Okay, do you agree? Why or why not? Okay, Buzz says that 9:30 is halfway between 9 and 10 o'clock, between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So 30 minutes is the same as a half hour. Okay, we'll see. Let's see. This is a half an hour right here. Okay, and how many minutes is it? 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So half is 30. So is Buzz right? Yes. And how do we know? Okay, so it says, do you agree? Yes. 30 minutes is halfway around a clock. Okay. Okay, we're going to stop there and look at our book with the animals. And we are looking first, there's the parent page, page 313, that starts talking about the hour hand and the minute hand and the digital clock. And on the back, it has, again, a clock where you could practice in an activity that you can do. Okay, looking at our workbook page, it says the hour hand on a clock shows the time. Okay, this is the hour hand. This hour hand is pointing straight at the 5, so it is 5 o'clock. Look at this hour hand. It is just past the 5. There's the 5. It is just past the 5, so we put just past 5 o'clock. Here, the hour hand is not to the 6 yet, so it's almost to 6 o'clock. Okay, so it says which hour hand shows 1 o'clock, circle the clock. Okay, let's look at it. Here the hour hand is pointing. Is that pointing right at the 2? Let's see. There's the 2. No. Or we're looking for 1 o'clock, so it's not pointing at the 1, is it? Here, is the hour hand pointing at the 1? Yes. And here's the hour hand pointing at the 1? No, it's past the 1. So this one, the hour hand is pointing right at the 1 o'clock. Okay. Number 2, which hour hand shows 8 o'clock, circle the clock. Okay. Is this one pointing right at the 8? Yes. Is this one? No, that's just past the 8. And that one is just past the 7. So here it is pointing at the 8. So it is 8 o'clock. Okay, and turn the page. If I can get the page turned. Okay, it says which hour hand shows almost 4 o'clock, circle the clock. Okay, so almost 4 o'clock. This one's pointing right at the 4, so that is 4 o'clock. This one is almost to the 4. This one is at the 5. So almost to the 4 would be this one. Remember to always be careful what they're asking you for. Okay. Draw a line from the time to the clock that shows the time. Okay, 11 o'clock. Which one is showing 11 o'clock? Well, that one is showing, whoops, it's not to the 12 yet, is it? Because there's 12. So that one would be almost 12. Is there one that says almost 12? Yes, here. So draw a line from there. Almost 12. This one, the hand is it at 11? No, it's just past 11. So is the one that says just past 11? Yes. And this one, the hand is at the 11 o'clock. So we're going to put 11 o'clock. Okay. Now it says draw the hour hand to show the times. Okay, we're just drawing the hour hand. Okay, so look back over in our book here, and the hour hand was the red hand. So I'm going to use a red pencil to draw the hour hand. So 9 o'clock, I need it to, I'm going to put my circle right, my dot right here in the middle. I need it to point straight at the 9. Okay. Almost 10 o'clock. Okay, put my dot. I don't want it to be exactly 10, but almost 10 o'clock. Okay. And we're going to stop there. Or no, we were going to go to the next page because we talked about this in the last lesson. Okay, it says the minute hand is halfway around the clock. Here's the minute hand, the blue hand. and it's halfway around the clock. Okay, the hour hand is halfway between the 8 and the 9. So it is 8:30, okay? If it's between the 8 and 9, we have to go with a smaller number, okay? Or the number that it just left, okay? So it's halfway between the 8 and the 9. So it is 8:30, or it is 30 minutes after 8, because if we count by fives, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, it's 30 minutes after 8. After it got to 8 o'clock, then it went 30 minutes. Or it is 8:30, or written with words 8:30. Okay, on this clock, it says it is 1/2 okay? So here is the short one is our hour hand, the red one. So look at the numbers. It's between the 11 and the 12, okay? So when we're looking at it, what number did it just leave? Okay, we don't go 12, 11. We go, when we're counting, we go 11, 12. It just left the 11, so it's 11:30. Or it's 30 minutes after, so 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes after what? After 11. Or it is 11, is the number that goes in front of the dots, 11:30. Okay, looking at this one. It is 30 minutes after what time? Okay, here is our hour hand, okay, the short one. Okay, what two numbers is it between? Between the 5 and the 6, so it just left the 5, so it's 30 minutes after 5. It hasn't gotten to 6 yet. So it's 5:30, or it is 5:30. It's 1/2, that's half of the circle. So minute hand is 1/2 the 5. Okay? Okay, and turn the page. It says it's 12:30. Draw hands on the clock to show the time. Okay, we'll start that one on our next lesson.